This week's letter comes to us from Little Jack. Little Jack writes in, says, "Dear George G, what is the secret to financial success? What is the secret to financial success?" Thanks for your letter, Little Jack. Appreciate it. It's something we're all looking for. Is there a secret? Is there a key that can unlock anything? And the answer is certainly yes. There is a secret to financial success. And I think that when we talk about secrets, we're looking for something that very few people know. But also, I think that it makes it easy. If this happens, then I get this. Because obviously, if I were to work really, really, really hard and earn a great living and save money and invest it over the course of a long period of time, I'm going to have financial success. And that's not really a secret, though. It's one of those kind of open secrets. So I think that if I were to say, what's the secret to becoming financially successful as quickly as possible? Number one, it would be just to be born into wealth. So that's what you should have done, is to have super rich parents that give you the money right away. So you have it. Number two would be that you are born into immense wealth and then you inherit it down the road. So you have to wait a little bit. So I guess that's less so of a secret. Number three would be that you marry into it. So you can find a rich partner, marry that person, then you become rich. So that's a pretty good secret. You can win the lottery. So you need to start playing the lottery. You need to get really lucky. You could find a bunch of money. So those are some secrets to it. But we're all looking for that secret that's going to unlock physical fitness. So what's the secret to my diet? What's the secret to my exercise program? What's the secret to love? What's the secret to success? What is the secret to becoming financially successful? And I mean, I'm going to talk about a handful of them today, but I think that framing it in from the perspective of what's the secret weapon to finding financial success. That I think is more interesting and more genuine and more honest than me trying to tell you about some hidden knowledge that you've been unable to uncover. So from my perspective, what is the secret weapon to finding financial success? Little Jack, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I know that we human beings possess inside of every one of us superpowers. We've got all of these superpowers. Yet so few of us we're just not aware of it. We don't understand how to tap into them. We don't understand how to consistently put them to work in our lives. And that's because it's not easy to do that. It is hard to do anything consistently. Really hard. I'm tired. I've got a lot going on. I'm burned out. I'm a little sleepy. I'm hungry. Whatever. So many different things going on. But if I can put these couple of things to work, they will be your secret weapon to financial success, which is something that I believe that you are worthy of, deserving of. But as the saying goes, we are not entitled to any of this stuff. So we have to put it to work. So we have all these superpowers. Number one, my favorite superpower. Let me take a big step back. You think about what financial success, how to get there. It's as straightforward as it gets. You look at where you are right now, you look at where you want to be in the future, and then we close that gap. So it's the closing of that gap. Therein lies the secret. Therein lies the secret weapon. But first things first, I have to know what financial success means to me. Duh, George, it means I have a lot of money. Okay. How much is a lot of money? Is it $500,000? Is it $1 million? Is it $100 million? Is it $50 billion? Is it I own a ton of real estate? I own an apartment complex. I own, stock. I'm a business owner. I've got a ton of crypto. I don't know. I have a guaranteed income stream. All this passive income coming in. I don't have to do anything. So what is financial success? Is that a stupid thing to say? Do you know what it is to you? Do you know and can you define this is what financial success is to me? So I think that if you're going to find financial success, you must first know what it is. So that's the first step. And that superpower that we can utilize to get to that place is our ability to set goals. Boring, you say? No, it's not. It is an absolute human superpower because what you're doing when you're setting a goal is you are imagining any future that you want, literally anything. Then you're making plans for bringing that desired future into current reality, and then you execute on those plans. If that's not a superpower, I don't know what is. You are creating something from nothing. That's what you're doing. You are practicing alchemy. You're taking lead and turning it into gold. You are taking your current situation, whatever that might be, and dramatically, I'm guessing, improving it. That's amazing. I've known about goal setting for a long time. I think that I knew how important goal setting was and having goals when I was 10. You know how long it took me to write down my goals? Till I was about 35. So, human superpower, and then this is a very superhuman thing to do. To understand the power of something, to understand the validity of something, in this example, setting goals, but then just not doing it. That's superhuman. That's such a perfectly human thing to do. So, another way to think about that is literacy and then wellness. The world is awash with educated derelicts, people that have tons of knowledge and information, but not the ability to put it into practice. And that's what we're talking about today, is actually putting what you probably already know to work in your life to get what it is that you want. That's a superpower. So I started doing it. I actually got a pen, piece of paper, and wrote down my goals when I was 35. Today, I sit here, I'm 46, and everybody was right. The whole time, everybody was right. There's so much power in knowing what it is that you want, writing down that thing that you want, those things that you want, and then executing on those things. So that is one of your secret weapons to finding financial success, is actually getting super clear on what you want, what financial success is, what the life that you want really is. I'm very fond of saying the only way to live how you want is to know how you want to live. And then the trick is, again, you look at where you are, you look at where it is that you want to be, and then you close that gap. You go and you get the resources. So there's that. But don't just skip over that because it's not going to work. It's not going to work if you think that you're going to achieve financial success without knowing what that means to you and without having clear benchmarks that you hit, cross off, and then keep going past that to the next one. You're not going to do it. And I don't like wasting my time. I don't want to waste yours. So you got to do that. You can't skip that step. Just get a pen and paper, write down financial success to me is, and just start writing. Think about time freedom. Think about the amount of money that you want to have, the kinds of investments that you want, the kind of lifestyle that you want, the kind of places that you go out to eat, the kind of food that you eat, the vacations that you go on, the car that you drive, the house that you live in, the activities that you engage in, the kind of people that you spend time around. Think about all that stuff and write it down. Make it known to yourself, and then you let the universe know. You put it out there, and it will conspire to help you get it, potentially. But then you have a clear vision of what it is that you want, and then you start making that plan. You know, it's really hard. You know, it's really hard for little Jack who wrote the letter, for me as a middle-aged man, and for everybody else. Waiting. Waiting is really hard. It's a drag. Like, ugh, I want what I want when I want it. If I don't get it, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum if I'm a little kid, even if I'm a grown up. Or, worst case, beyond just throwing a temper tantrum, is I just go and buy it. Because boy, do we live in a time right now where buying stuff is super easy. Not a lot of friction, not a lot of steps or walls in between me and that thing that I want. Having it in my hot little hands. ASAP. Thanks, technology. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. Thanks, whatever. The infrastructure that is now in place to deliver to my door that thing that I'm going to shove into my mouth or put around my, or dress myself in or whatever. I don't have to wait anymore. We live in a time of absolute instant gratification, and that's just not serving us. So, superpower, secret weapon slash superpower number two is our ability to delay gratification. Now, are we the only creatures on planet Earth that have the ability to do this? No. No, there are plenty of other animals running around out there who appreciate the need, the necessity to delay gratification. You think about squirrels that are running around or chipmunks that stuff food in their cheeks so they're really big and then they run and they find a place to bury it. Why do they do that? Well, they need to eat today, but they also recognize that I'm going to need food in the wintertime when there's not any food around or whatever, or later, just down the road. I'm thinking about my future self and not starving to death. So there's plenty of other beautiful creatures running around God's green earth that also have the capacity to engage in this. And those animals that rely on that, if they don't do it, you know what happens to them? Yeah, they die. You know what's going to happen to you? If you can't delay gratification, you're going to be a broke, older version of you. Bummer. Does this look good on you? This color? Does it look good on me? It's kind of a Walmart blue. Welcome to Walmart. Here's your cart. Can I help you find anything? I don't want that for you. Unless you want that for you. You want to be a greeter at Walmart when you're 75 years old? I hope the people that do that really love it. But odds are they need a little extra money. And I'm not. I don't. Whatever. Just a little bit of hyperbole for effect. So I don't want that for you. But that's what's going to happen. If you can't delay gratification, if you cannot save money specifically, you will have a really hard time becoming financially successful. Unless you do one of those things earlier, inherit a bunch of money, marry rich, win the lottery, find a buried treasure. Oh, I forgot to mention that one. You could be one of those people at the beach with a metal detector, walking around looking for buried treasure or gold or a ring or whatever. So you can do that also. Or you could put to work your human ability, your human superpower to delay gratification. My grandfather he sold life insurance for a long time, for many years. And he was really good at it. And he was really good at it just because he had the capacity to distill down and talk about kind of confusing things in a really easy to understand fashion. One of the things he would tell people, he told me, is that when I met somebody, I would tell them, I can tell if you're going to be financially successful or not. It's going to come down to whether or not you can save money or you can't. So, too productive? No, it's just not. That's what it's going to come down to. If you are in a position where you spend every penny that you earn on a monthly basis, meaning you live paycheck to paycheck, you are going to have a hard time ever becoming financially successful. So it's going to come down to that. So can I delay gratification? So what does that really mean? Well, first and foremost, you have to, again, get a clear vision of what you want your life to look like. Then you need to make a clear plan for getting that life. And that could mean that you're going to have to get out of debt. It's for sure going to mean you have to start saving money. But if right now you're in the red, meaning you are in debt, you've got credit card debt like many of us have or do have, and this was for sure me. Everything that I talk about, it's because I talk about it from personal experience. I spent the majority of my 20s in and out of credit card debt. putting everything on credit cards, like happy hour and stuff like that. So I ended up paying, $500 for a vodka soda that cost probably way too much in the first place. But, you know, you tack on 20, 25% annual percentage rates onto 5, 10 grand of credit card debt. It is hard to get out from underneath that debt. So you have to do that first, right? You have to do that first. And then what I really want you to do, I advocate that you do, is you save up an emergency fund. You start paying yourself first. So let me just take you through the steps that I talk about frequently. Number one is you have to understand what financial success is to you. You have to embrace that you are the only one who's going to get you to the level of financial success that you desire. Nobody else will do that. In fact, everybody else is interested in extracting your resources to help them get closer to whatever their version of financial success is. There is an army of marketers and algorithms and AI and blah, 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 following you around 24/7, trying to get your money, trying to get your attention, trying to get your engagement, your clicks, your subscriptions, blah, 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 blah. That's happening all the time. So you have to get really clear. This is what I want. This is what financial success is. And I am the person who's responsible for doing these things. And I accept that responsibility. Number two is start paying yourself first. Right now, if you're in the habit of paying everybody else first and waiting around at the end of the month to start paying yourself, you have discovered, probably a while ago, that there's not any money left over for you. When it comes to money, and certainly when it comes to everything else in life, all the most important things, the things that matter, you need to put yours and your family's needs and wants ahead of everybody else's. This is the time to be selfish. That might seem foreign or odd to you, but you need to put your needs first and foremost. So you do that financially by paying yourself first. And you accomplish that by, if you work at a company that has a 401k, awesome. Enroll in the 401k. That is such a pure way and a simple way to pay yourself first, because instead of your paycheck going directly to your checking account, a portion, your 401k contribution, goes into your 401k before the money comes to your checking account. So you automatically pay yourself first. So that's a really powerful thing. So if you're able to do that, enroll in your company's 401k, even if it's just at 1%. And I want you to endeavor to get to, if you're fortunate to work at a company that offers you a match on your 401k, do everything you can to contribute enough to get all that match. So if they match 3%, if they match dollar for dollar up to 3% of your contributions, work as hard as you can to put 3% of yours in. The company will match your 3%, and all of a sudden it's 6%. So that is, some people refer to that as free money, but it's also just part of your employee benefit package. So you're leaving money on the table. So endeavor to do that. If you're not at a company that has a 401k, or if they don't offer a match, that's okay. You can open up an individual retirement account or IRA and make contributions, set up automatic contributions that go from your checking account into your IRA the first of every month, so that the money is going to your needs and your desires and your priorities before it goes to anybody else's. From there, I want you to get $1,000 saved up. I want you to get $1,000 saved up. This is the beginning of your emergency fund. This should be in an account that's separate from your everyday checking account. Get $1,000 saved up. It's going to cover most minor emergencies. Once you've done that, I want you to focus on getting 1 month's worth of expenses saved. So we have to know what our cash flow situation is. That's the money coming in, it's the money going out. It's important that you keep a household budget so you understand how you're doing and where you're at. That's what a budget is. It's a simple plan for your money. It's telling you if you're on track or you're behind. Both are good. That's all good information to have. Okay, and then from there, you know how much my monthly expenses are. I want you to do everything you can to get that 1 month's worth of expenses saved up. Once you've got that, that's awesome, incredible. From there, I want you to put a plan together for getting out of credit card debt. If you're there, credit card debt is the worst. It is one of the most sinister, nefarious things in our culture today. It's crushing so many of us. It prevents us from pursuing career goals that we really want. It's just tough on relationships. It's bad all over the place. So however much your credit card debt is, make a plan. You've got a free course. Go to moneyalignmentacademy.com, go to courses. There's a course called Get Out of Debt. I'm awesome at naming things. It'll help you put together a plan for getting out of your credit card debt and execute on that plan. However long it's going to take you. It could take you a year, 2 years. It's worth it. Once you've done that, then I want you to get to 2 months saved up, then 3, then 4, then 5, and finally 6 months saved up in your emergency fund. And I know how hard that is. I know how easy it is to speak those words, but I know firsthand experience just how hard that is. But you can do it. And you know what's going to happen once you've done that, once you have, and along the way, what will be required for you to do that is that human superpower of your ability to delay gratification. You're going to be putting that to work on full display because you're going to be making cuts. You're going to be making choices that are reflective of those things that are most important to you. And if financial success is important to you, as it clearly is because you are watching / listening to this, then you will be putting that to work. You will be making choices and decisions based on your overall financial goals and objectives versus your immediate wants and desires. And good for you. That's awesome. So what will happen if you go through that exercise? If you commit and bust your butt and do these things, what do you get out of it? What do you stand to gain from sacrificing, from foregoing? What are you going to get? Is it going to be worth it? I say yes. Number one is you're going to go like this. You're going to let the tension out of your shoulders. You're going to take a deep breath. Why? Because now you have financial peace of mind. You have financial security. What do you mean? Well, you paid off all your credit card debt. Awesome. You've got 6 months worth of cash in an account. Even more awesome. And you've been paying yourself this whole time. So you've got money saved. You're now an investor. You're a saver. You're an investor. And now you are positioned to pursue financial prosperity. And you are in position to get that whole financial success thing that you're looking for. That's awesome. You should be really proud of yourself. And what else? What else have you done? You've shown yourself that you can do it. You've developed grittiness. You've made a goal. You've executed that goal. You've shown yourself that you're capable of doing hard things. You're capable of being in charge of your personal finances. And you know what? That's awesome. You should feel great about it. One more thing. We've got all these human superpowers. We also have weapons of mass destruction that we can point right at ourselves and blow ourselves up. The one I want to talk about today is your ability to rationalize. Man, I can talk myself into anything. I'm awesome at it. I'm awesome at the mental gymnastics that it takes to explain away why it is that I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do. Oh, it was this. Oh, we had the wedding. We had to, my kids. I could talk myself into anything. And that's a weapon of mass destruction because it causes me to settle for things I don't want. So you get clear what your idea of financial success is, what that means, what wealth means to you, what it is you want, what you want your life to look like, and don't compromise. Don't fall victim to rationalization. Don't settle for less. Keep going. Stay focused. And when you fall off the horse, just get back on. Don't do a New Year's resolution thing where you said you're going to go to the gym and you don't go once, so you say F it. Don't do that. Stuff that we're talking about is way too important. Way too important. We're talking about your financial success, your today and into the future. So you're not having to wear that Walmart name tag. No offense to Walmart. Great store. So great. Listen. Nobody wants a dusty cape. Don't hang your superhero uniform up in your closet and never touch it. That's no good. Put these things to work. Go get it. Go get it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I did it. I can do it. You for sure can do it. Other people are doing it right now. They're no smarter than you are. They're no more capable than you are. You're probably smarter and more capable than all of them. You got to do it. Got to be able to delay gratification. You got to be able to prioritize your biggest needs and your biggest wants over momentary comfort, over fleeting consumerism. I'm not saying you have to be 100% perfect all the time. We have to be about 80% right. And as you're getting started and you're trying to dig out of debt, trying to get proper good habits formed, you need to be closer to 100%. Once you form those good habits, then you can, you know, mess up a little bit here and there, splurge on some things. But you got to toughen up. You got to buckle down. Yeah, that's it. Buckle down. If you're interested in more of this, more of my philosophizing when it comes to money, you can pick up a copy of my most recent book, Your Money Story, How to Get the Ending You Want. Talk a lot about human superpowers in there. If you want some actual help from a financial professional of some kind, you can click on, there's a link in the notes, and you can connect with one of our Academy partners, one of our approved Academy partners that can walk you through the process of helping you become financially successful and all of that good stuff. Little Jack, buddy, thanks for the beautiful card. So nice of you, so thoughtful. Your parents, I'm sure, are very proud of you, and I'm sure that you are a good saver, buddy. Finally, for you, dear listener, friendly reminder, there's never going to be anybody more interested in your financial success than you are. So we must act accordingly.